There's been a lot of talk about the references that you make in Kick-Ass to movies that have been made. But I think what a lot of comic book fans and people that are waiting for next movies are going to notice are the references you've made to comic book movies that haven't been made yet. Is there a reason that you put Runaways in the middle of the screen? Mike Mignola's name popped up a bunch, and the movie that you guys go to see is The Spirit 3, I believe?
Yeah, Lionsgate are fast tracking it at the moment.
What was the reason for just those three?
But they're just our mates. I mean, Matthew Vaughn, who does Runaways, is a good pal of mine, and Mike Mignola's a guy, you know, we've known for years and everything. So it was funny, in that comic store, all the books that were at the front were all the people we like, and all the guys we hate, we put their books at the
Not
front.
one sign of my face anywhere.
He said I had no idea what he was just talking about. To be honest.
It's a private conversation.
Was there any reason for you for putting like The Spirit 3 on the marquee?
Well, yes, I couldn't clear. Originally we did have Spider-Man 10 or 12 or something, and Sony weren't happy about that. So we were working in the studio, we got a bit more liberal-minded, open point of view.
Do you remember we were talking about having a trailer inside the film, and the idea was going to be that whatever studio got it, we would get one of the, like exclusive footage and have the guys watching that. I thought that would be really cool. I just remembered that right now.
Yeah, you're right. We did think that.
You were going to make a Spirit 3 trailer?
No, whoever bought the movie, we assumed to have a superhero film, so we thought, and then they could be watched. We were going to do a scene where all the different characters were in the same cinema watching a superhero movie. So you had the Goons looking bored, or Frank, Mark Strong looking bored while Brett Mist. Everyone's just sitting in different areas in the cinema, all interacting to a superhero film, but the studios weren't interested in the movie, they weren't giving us footage.
For each of you, this movie looked like so much fun to work on it. Is there a day that you think years later you'll look back at some particular scene, a particular story that is just going to stick with you, that you thought was really fun, or finding something that always stay with you?
I think being in a sewage factory on day one, I remember thinking, Hollywood, this is going to be awesome. If we're off to film, Nick Cage is in the scene, this is going to be great. It'll be helicopters bringing in food for everyone and all that, so this is going to be so cool. And it was literally a sewage plant in East London that we were filming in, and the stench of human feces.
Well, Matthew already came and he was like, well, as long as the wind is going this direction, you won't smell it. But when the wind changes, you'll smell it. And the wind did change.
We did shoot the whole thing in 4 hours. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
And it was like blizzarding rain.
But that wasn't my highlight. So
I love
he's
sewage.
Scottish. So no, I just had fun. For me, it just made me fall in love with making movies again, because I did a sort of a studio movie beforehand, and it's just painful having people interfering and sort of giving you bad ideas that you have to spend your life fighting against for this, for the safety of the movie. But we had fun, the whole thing. It wasn't a bad day.
Were you at all concerned about having an 11-year-old girl doing all these fight scenes? Like, did you have already planned to say, this is what I want to do, this is what we're going to do, we're going to have, it's going to be a safe set, going to be a safe environment. We know we have this little girl running around with, shrapnel and stuff flying all over.
We have safe sets whether it's an 11-year-old or a 50-year-old, so she was part of the team. So making the movie had no concerns at all.
It was completely safe. So safe to where, if I got a speck of dust in my eye, they would freak out. So,
It's dangerous now, though, because she's learned how to do way too many.
don't mess.
Can we do down front again?
I find it really intriguing when the film switched into comic mode to explain Big Daddy's backstory. Had that always been part of the plan to include actual drawings into the film, and why did you choose to use the drawings to explain?
This is where being Sicilian comes into play. You threaten enough people and you get things done. Matthew's idea to do an homage to the comic in a literal sense was what started, and then we just said do a strip that will animate. That was pretty much it. And then they picked out the spot that they wanted, and that was. It sounds simple. It took a long time to get it.
It took way too long, and then Jesus. I thought it'd be finished by the.
But it wasn't far for the artistic sense.
Your fault, it was all our fault. Yeah,
But enough of the artistic sense for you and I. There was some mechanical issues, so to speak, technical issues.
we're trying to make it look good in the sense of the idea of bringing a comic to life was a lot harder than we thought it was.
I think the problem with animating a two-dimensional drawing ended up being a little more difficult than everybody expected. What it should have been was a three-dimensional from beginning to end, and it got to be a difficult task, even for these experienced animators.
And also, the whole, we originally the idea was it was just too expensive to start trying to make Nick look young and funny, girl and stuff. And we just thought, I hated having different actors play the same role, and so we thought it'd be a cool idea. I think it paid off. We only finished that about 3 weeks ago.
It seems like it was just done yesterday.
Yeah.
For Aaron, Chloe, and Chris, I think a lot of times when superhero movies are made, people underestimate how daunting it can be to have to act in a costume. Did you, for each of you, did you have any moments that maybe were a little more difficult than normal because of your costume, or did your costume interfere with your performance at all?
Definitely my mask. It had like some points at the end, so it kind of pushed my cheeks down during the whole film. So I kind of had to like work with that and mouth plans. That was a little difficult, but I think that's really the only hard part.
I think you might be able to take it seriously normally. No,
no, it wasn't a malfunction. That was how acting in a costume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Mask is part of the costume.
Please don't fight.
I like fighting.
Doing action in the suit, I probably ripped the middle of my suit in half like 30 times. Like you'd see my suit, and of course because the kilt covered it all, but underneath it, it was a little bit like ripped and torn, and patches of like leather have been glued onto it just to get to another scene.
Really?
Yeah. You never know all that.
But those difficulties play into the movie itself.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
more
Real.
real that way. Yeah.
The suits were really
Yeah.
hot. Burning up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was a wetsuit, but yeah, I always seem to sweat through it. I mean, we had about 10 different sort of costumes that we had to keep changing in and out.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I guess you got I feel like I suppose you're a bit overacting. I suppose because I've only got like that much, but I got like a letterbox to look through really, and eyes and everything. But
He was very dedicated. From the scene where he gets stabbed, we have an insane sound man. I mean, when I say insane, I mean he's brilliant, but nuts. And he, without us, so he had a breastplate and a stomach plate put in the costume.
the mic was.
And they decided that it was making too much noise, so the sound man took it out, but no one had told us. The stunt man was stabbing him, and he, little cuts, hundreds, and he didn't complain once, which I thought was stupid, but great.
It was exciting. It was good. It was good fun. The whole costume thing is
That's part of the character.
yeah, it's part of the character. It just added more. I could just work with that. I like jumping into
The problem with this is Mark suggested a sweatsuit, and because of his dialogue, nobody understood, and it became wetsuit. So it would have been interesting to see Tony Soprano's type of outfit on Aaron. It would have been interesting.
I mean, what the hell's a sweatsuit?
It's a very baggy sweatsuit, but you work out in.
Shink every time you walk.
Shell suit.
Like a jogging suit.
A jogging
We
suit,
call it
yes.
shell suits. You have to be a scout from the.
Scouts, yeah, it was fun.